Hello, and welcome to House Rolls.
Howdy.
All right, and let's see. Last session, oh dear, you had gotten away from the scene of the death of the undead, and had picked up a vampire seemingly defecting from the Claret Order named Adira. She had guided you through different places, had helped you all get through a number of vampires, seemingly charmed. You had met Clarice, who was a bit of a bitch, and had a little bit, smart-assed her. You eventually made your way to the Bloodwell, which was, or at least towards the direction of the Bloodwell, we'll say. You had made your way to what was called the Crimson Cloud, which was the airship previously run by the vampires. That because it had an engine that ran on bones as fuel, you had detached it from the mast and begun to separate it out, while Adira had memorized a lot of the sigils and the glyphs and the runes along the boat itself so that you could inscribe them upon the boat that Tower is in charge of. As bats flew in, you all tried to hide, however, not well enough, as soon after, a party of vampires came in through the same cavern you had tried to escape, or you had come in through. The pond now exists, Adira let loose a fireball, and Tower had begun to just simply leave the way they came through. We'll see how that goes when you run into the vampires who are in the same cavern. And I believe we need to roll initiative as this fight is about to start. So, get your dice ready, and we'll go ahead and get that started.
So it's gonna, since they're vampires, they prone to being, sucked blood-wise with the teeth. This is a good start.
The damage you deal, the particular thing
am I going to heal myself when I bite into a vampire?
I believe technically the mechanics do specify they must not be a construct or undead. However, if I am wrong, then yes, you would technically heal off of them.
Yeah, alright.
So, let's go ahead and go with
They do not say, does not specify.
It does not specify. Okay, for this session, yes, you will heal off of a standard bite attack against these vampires.
Alright, cool. I can actually kill these guys now, I think.
20 and above.
Oh.
15 to 20.
17.
All right, 10 to 15.
14. 12.
Okay. All right, and we are going to put the crew on the same initiative as well. 12 is Adira, 17 is Lucian, 14 is Tower. All right. At the top of the round, Lucian, you are first at 17.
I believe I have two vampy boys next to me, the head and others, right?
Yes, you also have Compel Duel focused.
With the leader.
Yes, on Clarice.
Okay. I think that might be... Shoot, yeah, I think that's the only spell I have at the moment. I don't think I have any more spell slots, so now that I'm looking at it, because we haven't had a long rest in, what, 4 sessions? Yeah, alright. But at least we can heal off bites. So, we're going to get our fire sword here. Swing with and bite Miss Lady Person.
Okay.
So we're gonna go. I don't think there's any reason I have advantage. So turn that off. natural 20 and
Damn.
a 12. And how are we do full die plus rolled, right?
Yes.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. Yep. So technically you do get that.
Okay, so it is a, and then we have fire damage. And then we'll do the bite as well. Natural 20 bite. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just kill this guy. That's great. All right, so let's see. The longsword is four. That's kind of a crappy natural 20 though. So 14 plus 5, so it's 19. I rolled minimum damage on the actual roll part of it. So 19 slashing, and 8 fire damage for the longsword, and then 16 plus 12. Yeah.
So total of 28 damage.
16 plus 12 is 28 fang magical fang piercing damage to heal myself to full. Yeah.
Okay.
Magical fangs. Woo!
All right. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah. So I think that's just under 50 damage in a round, I think.
All right. Clarice, in the moment, first of all, she's going to use her reaction, which will refresh immediately, to cast Hellish Rebuke on you.
That's not nice.
That is 11, 13, 15 fire damage. And then she is going to start her turn. She's going to use a quickened spell, and she mutters a few words, and you see her whole body just kind of vibrate a little bit and become like hyper aware, the eyes darting around and everything just moving a little bit faster than you expect. Then she's going to take an action to cast. She's going to take a hold of a cryptic symbol around her neck, and she's going to say, under Crimson Rain. And she is going to use Draw Living. I need Tower to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I think, did she have to make a save because it's not against me?
This is technically an area of effect that's centered on her. This is effectively Turn Undead, but like literally the retrograde of it. So it's Draw Living.
Okay.
So I don't, unless it is, because it could target you.
No,
but
it's
you're
only
gonna be immune.
against disadvantage on attack rolls, so you're okay.
Gotcha. Tower, what's your save?
12. Wait, sorry. This is a magical effect?
Yes.
Okay. I get advantage. 18.
There you go. Success. You feel this, this almost blood-curdling crawling throughout your body that pulls you ever so slightly in the direction of this vampire, and then it releases. Then she's gonna spend her second action. She is going to... You know what? She's gonna do, She says interesting, you notice, after, her magical effect kind of takes, or fails to take hold of you, Tower, and she glances at everybody in the room. You can see that Snitch washes over with this reddish energy and begins to walk towards her. Lilith and Rosie are unaffected, however.
Useless.
Second action. Yeah, she's gonna, she's gonna take her dagger. And, wow. She pulls it out and immediately lunges towards you, Lucian. and loses her footing and falls prone on the ground, the dagger skittering out 10 feet beyond you. And she looks up with kind of the red hair down in front of her eyes, just glossed over in anger. She rolled a natural 1, and that is going to be the end of her turn. Tower, you're up.
Fucking bunch of bullshit. Alright. Fucking snitch. Okay. Sorry, that was not part of my plan. How close is Snitch to her now?
Snitch is about 20 feet.
I have, like, fucking nothing left. So, other than cantrips. I'm gonna pull out Vilkas's journal.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, like, just like, if you want it, let us go.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. 21.
I need to roll. She postures at you, and she is wary and ready, but her and the vampires surrounding her. Actually, you'll
Is she on the
notice.
ground?
What?
Isn't she on the ground, kneeling at my feet, about to be decapitated?
She is on the ground in front of you. And actually, I forgot this. My bad. The vampires all dissipate. There is.
Oh.
None of them are at least physically visible in that space. But she's on the ground, just kind of waiting, body jittery, and she looks up at you, Tower, and there's this look of, I'm waiting for you all to move to figure out how this is going to go. Is that your turn, Tower?
Yep.
Okay, Adira, what do you do?
I think that seeing that Tower is trying to get us out of this and seeing that the vampires have somehow dissipated, would Adira be able to kind of figure out, okay, have they just like melded into the shadows, or were they not here in the first place?
I want
Is
you
there
to
any
make
way-
an investigation check. This is actually something you would be relatively experienced in understanding, so you can take an Arcana or investigation, whichever is better for you.
26.
You noticed immediately when they came in, there was almost like an unearthly glide to them, and especially after watching her cast the spell, you are not only aware of what is going on, you're aware she casted haste on herself, and you realize she had to stop concentration on one spell to start the other. The vampires were a major illusion.
Okay.
Like,
Okay,
all
cool.
of this is just like computing in your hyper-intelligent brain.
All right. Okay. Adira is going to call out. They were never here in the first place. It's just her. Tie her up if you can. And she's gonna then look to the crew who are now, I guess, down on the. They're no longer on the ship, right?
Yeah, they're all carrying heavy shit though. So they're not like like Snitch is currently carrying like a big lugging thing kind of across his back. It's strapped in odd places. But it like, so he's relatively hands-free, but it's like they're all encumbered, I would say, is a fair statement.
But they have the engine, right?
Yes, they have the engine
Okay,
split up
perfect.
between the three of them, yeah.
Perfect. Adira is going to climb down and start making her way towards them.
Okay.
And approaching very cautiously.
Okay.
At the moment.
Absolutely. You start making your way over. The crew, Rosie and Lilith, kind of look at each other and are kind of approaching side by side with you, Adira. Just kind of as like a wall of feminine energy. And as you guys make your way over, we get to the top of the round. Lucian, what do you do? You see this diffuse of conflict. What are you doing?
She's kneeling on the ground in front of me,
Yes.
basically. Sprawled out. You said tie her up if you can. I'm gonna glance at Tower and raise an eyebrow. Oh, no. So I'm going to swing at her twice. And since she's prone, I assume I have advantage unless something else, right?
Yep.
Okay. That's another natural 20.
Damn,
That's another natural 20. And
no
I'm gonna fight her.
way.
Look
No
at this.
way.
I am rolling on the computer.
Like,
It's
are
not
you
me.
fucking kidding me?
And then there's
What
a
the
bite.
shit?
So that's and then so luckily there's only you only get one fire damage thing on there. So.
Shit. Fuck.
We didn't like her in her
Jesus.
story. So
Not that
that's-
he
that's-
exists in this world, but Jesus.
Yeah. So 19 and then plus 17 slashing. 19 plus 17 slashing, that's what, 35? 35 and then 10 fire damage and then 9 magical fang damage.
It is piercing, not necrotic, correct?
It is piercing magical.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, that brings 28 plus 35, right? 28 first
What?
round, 35 total damage this time.
28 magical piercing last time, and then the slashing
Is non-magical.
was non-magical. So 8 fire damage last time,
Okay.
and then we had
Jesus. Fuck.
19 non-magical slashing last time.
Okay.
8 fire damage last time. Freaking 28 magical piercing last time.
This is like 75 plus damage in a single.
I know,
like 2 rounds.
This is. We just really want to get off this island. We haven't rested in 4 sessions. We just want to get on the boat and take a nap. So
Okay.
let me just kill the lady, decapitate her, and let's get out of here.
You know what? How do you want to do this?
Decapitation!
All right. So as you just numerous, you can see the magic, jitteriness in her body. But no matter what advantage it would provide her, you're just absolutely striking into her, fire and fang all the way through the body. And finally, just the fire cauterizes the blood on her neck. And just as you're slicing through, the head just tumbles over a few times over. And she sits there, kind of at an angle against the wall, the momentum causing her head to kind of sit upright. And the eyes are just staring at Adiria.
Well,
Or that. Burn her and let's go.
all right. I'll just ignite her, I guess, with the flamey sword.
Body goes up.
Adiria's watching as she goes up in flames with kind of it's equal parts a little bit of sorrow and satisfaction.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I can see it. I do want to say, what is everybody's passive perception?
We're using passive perception? 10.
Adira's is 14.
Okay.
12.
Okay. Almost as is fitting, Adira, you hear small plop, plop noises as something climbs out of the water behind you. And immediately upon turning, you see the red frilly shirt of your younger sister, Esmeralda. And just looks at you.
What are you? You're supposed to be back home.
I mean, this whole place is my home.
How do you know her? Well, I guess you're a vampire too. But this is my adopted sister, Esmeralda.
You two have more in common than you think.
Apparently.
She's my twin.
Press X to doubt.
Why are you here? I left you in your room.
Yes. And I felt Dad leave us. And it was right after these people saw him.
Yes. Doesn't really explain why you're here, though.
You know me. I don't stay in one place very long.
Ezzy, you know he wasn't our father.
You can see her twitching for a bit. Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
You can sense there
13.
is almost a magical influence beginning to fade. What was your persuasion?
13.
She looks at you, eyes softening ever so slightly. So what were you all doing here?
We're leaving. I'm going. Adira's gonna kind of like reach for her hand and try to take it if she'll let her.
She lets you take the hand, but I'm gonna need a competing athletics check as she tries to keep you put.
Okay.
Well, this seems like a family problem, and I just heft my stuff and I start walking away.
No, 7.
Natural 20.
Oh my god. Unsurprising.
Well, your decision.
Let me go.
What are you all doing? What do you plan to do after this?
Leave.
And then
Sleep.
what?
Drink. Be merry. There's too much stuff happened on this island.
Make a deception
Take a
check.
nap.
I'm not lying. I plan on drinking, eating, and being happy. And ask that.
She
And I plan on napping.
she
I mean, I could go deception. That's fine. I mean, it's the same roll as persuasion, either or.
Yeah, okay. I want to roll. I want to roll from you.
Alright, there's an 8.
Okay. That's a natural 17 on her part. She's gonna stare at all of you. She's gonna go, "No, what is your scheme? Tell me now.
My scheme?
You came here.
Yeah.
You killed people here. And now you're leaving. What are you doing next?"
Yeah, I'm a pirate. That's kind of what I do. We don't really have a scheme.
We're going to a crypt next. Eventually.
Her
Are we?
eyes narrow in on you, Lucian. What crypt?
My father's crypt.
Well, that's fucked up.
A little bit.
Our father's crypt?
No, my real father's crypt.
You can you can tell in a very like wearing her emotions on her sleeve kind of way, she's debating whether to tell you all something.
Adira's gonna clock this. Like she knows Ezzy better than she knows
Mhm.
anybody. She's going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. Yeah.
On
Ooh.
Izzy.
All right.
Yeah.
With the slight somatic component and the otherwise very unnoticeable spell, you hear a stream of thoughts about. Should I tell them about peace and compassion and the rest of the Bloodwell?
This better be the names of swords.
And you know to what history she is referring to directly. You
Yeah.
also are catching that she is like, it appears that she might know more about some of these secret stashes than you do. Possibly because she was more in Vilcus' circle.
Adira's going to grip her hand tighter and like get her attention back on her. And she's gonna say, "What about peace?" And as she says that, she's gonna try to push deeper into her mind.
Ooh. It's a wisdom saving throw, right?
Yeah. I would like it if she didn't roll super high. That'd be great for the first time.
That's gonna be a natural 9.
Does not beat my spell save, so yeah.
And her modifiers, I think her modifier is a 5.
Yeah, so that's
You push
my spell
deeper. What about peace? You can see her mind almost like a traveling scape. Just you're looking at her and the water behind her. And it's almost like you float right through her body. You go to the water, and then immediately you just lower into it. And there are these figures that are stretching throughout the water, and you just keep diving deeper and deeper until there is almost like an underwater pond let out, where like the suction, if you've ever had like the cup in the bathtub that you put in and it keeps air like in it, even though technically the water is over top of it, if that makes sense. Like the level of the water is over that. There's an exit where somehow there is air above, but it's much lower in elevation. And you go into it and you can see a room in kind of some amount of dark obscurity, small, maybe 30 by 30 feet, but with at least 200 feet stretching upwards in that opens up into the night sky of just rock wall. The ground has a number of stakes pointed straight up of different materials, iron, wood, and various other minerals. You can see there are a number of decomposing bones, but no signs of blood. And in the center of all of this is an obelisk with a number of runes in vague shader that you can't necessarily make out unless you were to go there in person. And from there, the vision kind of cuts off. Do you dive deeper?
I think first she's going to try and give her an opportunity to tell them.
Okay.
So she's gonna grip her hands tighter and just, Ezzy, you have to tell me.
What do you want to do with peace?
I'm gonna look at Tower like really confused about this entire conversation that's happening.
Do you remember them? Do you remember Mother and Father at all?
You feel her twitch, and with your mind melded with hers, you sense this real. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That's an 8.
You take 4 psychic damage, just piercing into your head. And she also takes a little bit of psychic damage. And you can see in her brain as you bring up your parents, like fading images, like but distorted and shouting, but it fogs over, almost like a clouded memory that's like incomplete and incoherent in most ways. Ow!
Essie, look at me. And she kind of like takes her by the chin and like forces her to look at her. They loved us. All right, they loved us so much. And they were killed. And I'm going to go after the person who caused it. So I need it. I need you to tell me everything you know.
Give me a persuasion check.
Damn it, 6. I need to exercise my dice.
You can take my con inspiration.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right.
What is that?
Roll again.
Nice. Okay. I'm exercising my dice first.
That's a lot of. All right.
I'm exercising them. Didn't work. It's a 9.
No, I just wall of text freaked me out for a second.
She looks at
Nice.
you. We have to go together. Natural 4.
We have to go get peace together?
It's something about our bloodline.
Alright. Okay.
She stares at Clarice throughout part of this conversation, and there is like equal parts confusion, fear, and also relief. Clarice was both of your arcane tutors at one point, and you recall the day you found out that she was the one that orchestrated the intentional attack on your household. Az turns to you and looks to the rest of you all. Are you coming?
I think there's a ship. Is there a reason we need to come? I mean,
Besides the fact that none of you can actually get it to fly without me.
didn't you just say put bones in it and it'll work?
Has magic components as well. What do you think I was doing up there?
Well, you're the captain. I'll turn to Tower.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to sign waivers.
A waiver.
Yeah, I'm not responsible for anything that happens to you on the ship. I don't like puns. That's in the agreement.
Mm.
So no fucking puns on the ship.
I think
Unless
there's
I
some of
make
the-
them.
I think there's some of the smartest humor. Well, come on. And she takes Adira and begins to pull you towards the shore.
Adira's gonna follow. She doesn't have much choice. She did absolute shit on her strength save, so.
That's
She-
a bossy little bitch, isn't it?
Seems that way.
Well, if she ends up dead, it ain't my fault. Dead again. Undead. Re-dead.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to this. Not feeling anything.
Oh yeah. You're fucking dead too.
Yeah. It's a predicament. But I have to say, have you tried blood? Because let me tell you.
Adira kind of calls out behind her. You should really try animal blood. My bet, my personal opinion is that it's much tastier.
Listen, growing up, I used to consume things that normal. Well, Anyway, I'll stick with blood.
She pulls you, Adira, just casually begins to walk into the water, feet sinking deeper and deeper.
Adira will follow along. She'll kind of turn half back and just, Tawa, can you breathe underwater?
No.
You might be best served then going back to the ship and getting the engine sorted. Unless you, I don't know. We have to go
That's what I
fast.
was fucking doing. I've got Rosie and Lilith and Snitch.
Rosie looks and says, I'm quite good with that plan. I say we head back now. Alright.
Yeah, you deal with your family matters.
Alright, so the vampires head one direction and the living head the other.
I guess I'll follow the vampires. I guess.
You can choose. Is that what you're doing? What?
I mean, she's got the key to start the engine, so she's got to stay alive. So I guess I'd have to bring her back, right?
Alright.
So
Sounds like a
with
plan. So touching on the vampires, first you guys begin to dive beneath the waters, and you hear this whispers just begin to echo. And as you dive deeper and deeper into the water, you begin to look around, and there are images of people you've seen die. For you, Adira, accustomed to the various protections around this that the Claret Order sets, you can see visions of your parents dying out of one corner. You can see your best friend from the cabin over burning alive. You see a couple of these images before coming to this spot. Lucian, you not so accustomed, run into a vision. You almost turn your head and immediately see yourself stabbing Eglantine. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
That's rude. 11.
11. You find yourself transfixed, and Adira, you look behind to see Lucian stuck in the waters, only able to tread in space for a moment.
Adira's gonna tug on Esmeralda's hand and motion back and sort of like pull her back and grab a hold of Lucian's arm and kind of jostle. And if he doesn't respond, she's basically just gonna like tow him along behind her.
Okay. Esmeralda looks over, and there's this weird dynamic that you're experiencing with her that you've never seen her have with another being before. And she is now, it's this, you're her sister, but also this was kind of her adopted brother for a brief moment, and now you're family by blood. And she goes over and helps you move Lucian along. The two of you kind of pulling Lucian through the water. As they pull you, Lucian, you find yourself almost at this like state of stunned incapacitation, seeing the image flash away and fade as you find your arms being towed by these two women next to you. As you dive deeper into this water, Esmeralda's visage becomes a little bit more mature, and it's like you're seeing her in a new light. You get pulled along further, this time seeing your comrades die in battle due to Bramberley Stout. I need you to make another wisdom saving throw. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Natural 20.
Brutally wounded.
Is it the fourth one?
Clearly not as impactful on your mental health as your family.
This is because I couldn't remember any history like 2 sessions or 3 sessions ago. We're finally getting
this is the benefit.
Like, here, this name, this symbol, shove it in your face. Remember. I don't know.
The three of you make your way into this little pool opening into this subterranean sort of open sky room. Coming into this space, you pluck your heads above water. You see all the stakes pointed upwards. You see the decomposed bones, the sky above, the moon's only barely beginning to wax, and the obelisk in the center. What would you like to do?
Adira's gonna take a few steps forward and like carefully avoiding the spikes as she goes. And she's gonna kind of bend down and examine the obelisk a little bit before turning back to Esmeralda. Is there something specific I should know?
She looks to you. No, I've never seen it opened. It's
Right.
dependent on an incantation, but it's written on there. It's relatively straightforward. It opens essentially an interdimensional lockbox, but also opens a brief portal to the Shadowfell. So just be ready for whatever's on the opposite side.
Right. Okay. Adira's gonna bend down and just start examining the text on it.
So the first line is in Shader, in a modern, in a contemporary understanding of the language, of the written language. Past that, it starts to get a little fuzzy. There are a total of 4 lines, and you may be assisted throughout this process, but I need you to make a history check for each line to see if you can decipher it, as it is all in, like, excessively aging text. You will have advantage on these. This first one, at least.
Amazing. Advantage. 13.
The first,
And
you
then-
successfully read the first and the second line.
Okay. For the third, just a straight roll.
Third straight roll.
12.
You struggle with this third line. And it you can make out most of it except for the very, very last bit. And the very last line is only 2 words. So you can roll for those.
Okay. Nat 20.
Okay.
Adira's gonna finish reading the whole thing and reread it again just to make sure that she has it, the majority of it, correctly translated, and then she's gonna turn back to Esmeralda and say, "Do you remember? I need you to come. I can't make these 2 words out." And she's gonna kind of like point to them, and she's very, very close to it at this point. She's like, I think it says with, I don't know, I can't make it out. This, the text before it says, may we drink, may we judge, with your power we claim, with death, with night, but I don't know these 2 words.
She looks over it, and you see her in the same way that it has before, as you were diving into her brain, into false memories. You see this twitch of the head. And she just like, it's in there somewhere. And she looks to you and looks to Lucian. Lucian.
Aye.
You can see memories, right?
What?
Through blood.
Yeah, I guess that did happen. Twice now, yes.
Are you... She in her, just kind of holds out an arm to you, wrist up.
Listen, I'm not too good at controlling myself with this yet.
In pure coldness, she just says, I can stop you if I need to.
Pause. Alright. That'll be 16 magical piercing damage.
She grits her teeth, soaking up. I need you to make a history check.
Okay.
So you're pulling memories. You begin to see them take shape with Vilcus teaching her the ancient texts of Shadar, and him taking out increasingly older-looking volumes of education surrounding the nature of the Shadowfell.
23.
And there you see him turning the pages. You can see a spell, a memory spell, just under his left hand, but this information on the other, on the ancient language in the other. And you are able to read that the missing text to which she is referring is Under Crimson Rain.
Under Crimson Rain. Oh, I feel good.
Blood will do that too. Even other vampires. What a unique gift you have.
What'd you say?
So it's a very unique gift you have.
Well,
I'd like to discuss it more on the ship, if you don't mind. It's not many who have it.
I should also say that Esmeralda's blood tastes almost like a deep, smooth, dry Cabernet Sauvignon. Just this deep, dark red wine.
Red, red wine.
Ding, ding, ding. So with that, Adira is gonna kind of like grip Esmeralda's shoulder and just, are you alright? You're fine?
I'll heal, as we all do. She actually goes to, she mutters a few words, and you see like a disembodied, deadly hand place itself over her arm, and it begins to heal a little bit as she casts Chill Touch on herself.
Okay, good. Good. Adira's hands are kind of like fluttering around her a little bit, like very, very cautious and careful with her before she turns back to the obelisk, and she's gonna start muttering in. She's gonna start muttering the language in Shadir, and she recites the spell, but she says it in like the language it's actually written in. Lady of Red, in darkness you came. You led the unfed. Lost is your name.
The obelisk shifts, the top bit rotating ever so slightly, and blood almost seemingly to rise from the earth, from the dirt, inserting itself into the obelisk in almost a vein-like fashion, just a quarter of the way up.
So your greatness we know, may we go your way to honor your throne with the evil we slay.
Little bits begin to spin, spiraling around on the sides themselves rather than simply rotating. The blood travels further up.
May we drink, may we judge, with your power we claim, with death, with night, under crimson rain.
The top of the obelisk parts in 4 ways, opening up. You see a little bit of a black hole. And with Esmeralda next to both of you, she grabs both of your hands, now at full height, mirroring Adira's image. Now you can see the resemblance.
Looks to her and then kind of briefly looks to Lucian before stepping up closer to the obelisk and kind of looking down into it before muttering, "Has to be."
The black hole explodes out and wisps of shadow begin to spiral around all of you, obscuring your vision except for those of you who have magical dark vision. And you begin to look and you see figures throughout. But before you is what looks like just an open hole with 2 weapons poking out. You see
Adira.
a long sword, elegant with a number of red runes etched across, fading into black runes at the very, very tip. The end has this ornate, almost spider-like guard to it, and a deep onyx gem in the middle of it. The other weapon is almost hung in this hole, a whip, with this stream of just black, this just black strand that seems to ebb and flow and almost be difficult to actually see where it sits because its shadow just kind of wafts back and forth.
Adira is going to let go of Esmeralda's hand and reach both hands in and grab both the weapons and try to pull them out.
You grab them, and almost as if gravity is pulling them back, you have to fight. I want you to take an athletics check.
Okay. 13.
You budge them up, and you begin to hear a number of cries and shouts of fear from the other side that cause you to doubt in the moment. You are unable to lift these weapons out, at least alone.
Adira kind of grits her teeth, just help me. I can't. And I'm like struggling to pull them at this point.
Lucian will assist.
Lucian, you go over. How does this look? Like, how do you assist?
How's your grip?
Got a pretty good grip on them, but I just...
Great. I'll pull her.
All right. I imagine like just kind of arms around her waist, you yanking back, and Esmeralda kind of comes up behind you and her arms around yours, and the three of you just kind of tug and tug. Go ahead and everybody give me an athletics check.
16 this time.
You need a combined 35.
11. So Esmeralda needs a...
Esmeralda got a 10, so I believe you guys are good. As you pull out, the screams louden for a moment, and you hear this crack as this sound erupts, and this rift appears with shadow behind it. A number of figures pile out, and in this moment that it opens up, it also closes. The weapons are in your hand, and a number of pale, long, pointed ear creatures with dark, black, matted, dirty hair kind of look up from in front of you. You see what looks to be a family, or at least a group, of Shadar-kai elves.
Adira is going to... I'm gonna keep my grip on the weapons and sort of take a small step back before saying to them in Shadar-kai, "Are you all right?"
And you can see there is a feminine figure in the group who kind of steps forward. Yes, are we on the material plane?
Yes.
What are they speaking in?
Shatter.
Okay.
She looks to the others, and you see 4 other figures, 2 about her age, 1 male, 1 female, and 2 younger, likely a brother and sister. And they all just kind of look at each other like we've made it, and there's this dampened but grateful expression on their faces. And there is almost this warmth where, like, maybe a normal family would be hugging, but they just kind of look at each other awkwardly. And you brought us here.
Purpose, I'm afraid, but yes.
You've done more of a favor for us than you could ever realize. Do you have a way
I'm
about?
a way out of here? Are any of you able to breathe underwater?
No.
Adira's gonna look to Esmeralda. They're from the Shadowfell, and it seems they've been there a very long time. Is there another way out of this? Out of here?
Esmeralda kind of looks up into the night sky that stretches, like, after the 200-ish foot of wall around you guys. If we can get up there.
What? We can't go back through the water.
We can, but they can't.
Can you not shape water?
Can
Make a
I?
Yes, you're a
No.
mage or something, right?
Yes, but that's not one of my abilities.
Well, I
I'm
can.
much more.
I can make a
Well,
bubble
if you
around their head.
Perfect.
Something. But it won't last very long, I don't think. So, how long will it take us to get through?
It took you guys about 7 minutes of swimming.
5 foot bubble around a head. Is that gonna last 7 minutes?
I believe the duration, if I remember, is 1 minute for shape water. You can recast it.
Yeah. But basically, if I get distracted at all, it's gonna collapse and there won't be any air.
Mm-hmm.
Dear, I'm gonna turn back to them. Can any of you climb?
You can see that of the figures, the other feminine figure is she and the male figure are both quite brawny, actually. And they introduce themselves to you. The male figure, Iedrig, and the feminine, Umbri. And they say, we can probably help the younger ones.
Okay.
Where
Okay.
should we meet you?
Adira is going to turn to Lucian. Can't leave them here. Where's the boat?
Why would I know from this direction?
Well, what's the... I don't know, was there anything nearby? Was there a beach, a rock, anything?
It's near the village. And then up the beach line, there's a slight rock, and that changes to forest, and there's a small, there's a dock that's we had our rowboats on. You're
As-
going to have to bargain with the captain about
I know.
the additional
I know.
passengers. You can't
I
just
know.
freely listen.
I know, and Tower doesn't seem particularly interested in...
Tower is escorting me because she owed a favor to someone, and I don't know the details on it. We're just picking you up. You have to understand, adding more people because you want them to a pirate captain is not the most desirable thing to do.
The younger of the two Shatterkai look towards you and kind of broken crit speak. We help? Hands. Service?
Any service is likely better than whatever they just came from. And we can't just leave them here, they'll become food.
Well...
I'm gonna turn towards them and just go,
Oh god.
I have a proposition.
Yes.
He's a new vampire. And we are about to leave the island. This island is full of vampires.
Yes.
We're leaving on a ship with a captain who I might be able to barter for additional service on the ship if you're willing to do it. But if you would be willing to assist in keeping his appetite sated and keeping mine sated, it would be far more likely that we would be able to do this.
Travelers, this is an ideal situation for us. We're actually looking for 2 individuals. They disappeared here long ago, and as long as we can be of service and perhaps we can be dropped off at a center to find them, that would be amazing.
I'm gonna turn to Lucian, just...
What? What do they say?
Well, they just agreed to be our blood supply. They just agreed to be our blood supply for the duration of our travels, which means that Tower won't have to worry about any of his crew, or about either of us going on a blood-crazed rampage across the ship. So
they agreed to be our blood supply.
Yes.
Okay, so you've won me over. How are you winning over the captain?
Well, he has 2 vampires aboard, and 2 vampires with no ample food supply means... Are you following me here, Lucian? Eventually we will reach a state where we cannot be controlled, and we will slaughter everyone.
There are also pirates who are not, don't really care about killing people. So...
Yes, but what I'm saying is that we're far more likely to kill them.
So you're telling me you're bartering with the captain that we're a threat? So
no, I'm not going to say this to the
ship.
captain, Lucian. I'm not going to say this to the captain. What I'm telling you is that this is a great addition. But also, they'd be more than willing to do any kind of services the captain needs done. I'm just saying it stops his need to stop and make sure that we don't kill anyone.
Are you really sure that's what you want?
In my mind, it makes perfect sense, because the alternative is the captain stopping all the time so that we can feed. You, of course, know the captain better than I do.
Yes, a full 4 days longer than you. Well.
They're willing.
As you guys continue to speak, we'll shift over to the other group. You guys can plot and figure out how you want to scale these walls. Meanwhile, Tower, you begin to leave with Rosie, Snitch, and Lilith, all kind of lugging a piece of the engine behind you, kind of keeping an eye out for any vampires that might go amiss. I assume you're kind of in the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. You get outside of the cavern. The river still kind of boarded up on the side. That could be let loose. But you are looking at the town. Nothing seems to be too awry. You do hear a number of sounds of people kind of infighting and having heated discussions over at the church where you had been taken earlier. But other than that, everything else seems to be kind of just standard. What would you like to do?
Keep heading towards the ship.
You keep making your way over, and as you kind of step onto the dock, it's gone remarkably smoothly, and you begin to hear like a thrashing happening somewhere on your ship.
Okay, is my ship docked or is the rowboat docked?
Oh, sorry, it is the rowboat, but the ship is close enough, I would say, that you could hear the thrashing, so yes.
Is there a kraken beast attacking my ship from this view?
There is nothing you can see. Whatever is happening is on board the ship.
I mean, was it elemental storm, vampires? Kraken is just naturally next, right?
Right, the progression.
The next step.
Mhm.
All right, we'll get on the rowboat and head over.
Okay. You guys you would largely be in charge of rowing, but Snitch kind of is able to find a little bit of a grip, and you guys across the thrashing, getting ever so loudly. And it occurs to you that this is the thrashing of a larger creature. This is not some human jumping around and causing a ruckus. There's something bigger. You eventually get...
Is there anything other than the thrashing that I hear?
You can hear Vic kind of issuing gentle commands to people around him. Just keep him tied down. Get him taken care of. Keep him on the ground. You don't need any more accidents.
What did they get into? I wonder if that's did we bring the big reptile thing?
You did.
We did. Okay.
Oh.
Just double checking.
Yeah. Dorian.
Yeah. One of two Dorians.
Yeah. Dorian the vampire and Dorian the pit dragon man thing. Yes.
Okay. Tower. As you get over, the rope ladder is still kind of hanging off the side.
Yep.
Okay. You make your way on board, and sure enough, with an amount of prediction, you're able to see Vic and the other crew members on the ship. A bunch of their repair supplies just kind of lying around. And he looks to you and goes, oh, thank goodness. I don't know what happened. And you just see the reptilian beast just kind of squirming around and throttling. Like, you can see a little bit of like black veiny bits along the neck. Just kind of struggling in a sort of seizure.
What'd you get up to then?
We didn't do anything. This is how he got maybe 10, 15 minutes ago.
I'm gonna poke it with my boot. Poke, poke.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no! Oh no! Cow!
You asked for that.
Alright. I was gonna use my dice, but I've been using this the whole night, so. 7.
Okay. As you kind of poke, we'll say the side, a leg of the reptilian beast just kind of sweeps out and knocks your bad leg out from underneath of you.
Just fall right flat onto my back.
Lilith kind of comes over. Captain, You okay?
That's a problem.
She immediately goes to check, like, the placement of your brace.
I'm fine. You're not even my doctor.
Rosie just kind of looks over, amused that somebody else is doing the job. What? Can you help us tie him down? Rosie, do you have anything? And Rosie kind of goes over.
What are you gonna chloroform a dragon?
I don't know. He whatever this thing is, it's a problem. Clearly, I mean, we have repairs to make around the ship. What do you want me to do, Captain?
I'm gonna go repair it. Are you now?
As you say that, the crew kind of looks at you, and Vic goes, so you want us to let go of the dragon flopping about?
Yeah.
They all kind of look to each other and, like, do what the captain says. They do, and immediately, like, body begins to
back up a little bit.
The body begins to, like, flip around, and just, like, every once in a while, there's almost like a shadowy substance that levitates underneath of it. It just continues to suffer and suffer and suffer. But they kind of get...
I asked some clarifying questions.
Yes, absolutely.
Does this activity appear to be involuntary?
Yes.
Okay. And you said there's a shadowy substance?
Yeah, there's like a shadowy energy that like manifests every so often and kind of lifts a part of the body off the ground. Kind of very like exorcist.
So it's like he's fighting a ghost, kind of.
Yes, very much.
But it also looked like it was in him?
Yes.
Weren't you saying there was like some black veiny? Is that like similar?
Yeah, why don't you there's definitely a shadowiness to the veins that's almost like effervescing off of it. So you're able to identify that. I would say that it's the same kind of energy. The same thing is happening. It's just manifesting in a number of chaotic different ways.
Okay. Well, you're looking at somebody who's like combat made. Well, I should say offensive made. I don't have a ton of stuff that would do anything for not blowing shit up. And Rosie's a doctor, and Lilith is a gunsmith. And fuck all knows what Snitch can do. What do you think, Snitch?
You can get charmed a lot, apparently.
Apparently.
I can try to keep him down.
Why don't we just push it overboard? Probably drown. Problem solved.
That's what you want.
Yeah, push it overboard.
Kind of goes over. I need you to roll a house roll.
Nine.
Okay. As the body kind of flops around, Snitch goes over to kind of grab some of it and begin to tug over. Snitch, it is worse than any sort of bad terrain. I mean, it is like 5 foot a turn.
Get that thing overboard.
The body smashes against the mast in the center, and you hear a crack just erupt as like part of the mast splinters. Pulls it over a little bit away from that. I need to roll a dexterity.
Is the crew helping?
The crew has now gone over to help Snitch a little bit. Some of them are like abandoning the fixing of the ship task that they were on, and now they're back on this.
Throw it overboard.
Very back and forth. As everybody kind of gets along, and the creature is somewhat apprehended, being ready to thrown overboard, one of their tails kind of flicks a little music box that's been off to the side, and you hear this tinkling melody in your head. I need a wisdom saving throw.
Fuck that music box, man.
The music box.
18.
18.
Fuck you. I don't remember this shit.
You go into your head for a moment, everything kind of like washing over, and you see images of a number of individuals, primarily this young Shatter Kai boy at a piano, and this dark tan skin color elf. The two of them kind of talking ever so lightly, and you're definitely seeing this from a shorter view than you're used to, but your memory quickly pulls back into reality.
I'll pick up that music box. Let
Okay.
them throw the thing overboard.
Okay. The crew begins to take the creature, and they've kind of got him just on the edge, still kind of fighting back and forth. We'll go back to Adira and Lucian.
So have you actually thought of a way to get the captain to let them on the ship?
I kind of like look at my hands and spin the longsword a little bit. Just, well, I can't use this, and it's a fairly legendary weapon within the Cloud Order. The captain seems like the type who might be interested in that.
It's valuable, I suppose.
And the captain likes value. Am I wrong?
I have no idea. I assume so. I mean, yes.
Alright. So, an incredibly valuable weapon for transporting 4 extra people to the next major city. I don't really see.
And yourself. Remember, I don't know if you've bought your passage yet. Might include that.
I've already bought my passage. I bought my passage through the way to get
right.
off the island.
Right.
And also getting you all away from the vampires. I did that already.
Mm.
I mean, I can just, leave you all, run back to the village, say that you're all escaping, and then, terrible things would happen. But I'm not going to do that.
Right. Well. So instead of walking, we're having them climb up this, and I'll gesture at the giant steepness.
I would say, Adira, you know that the Bloodwell is host to many treasures, but similar to magics that you've heard of in other artifacts, you have to know what you're looking for. So if you have an idea from your many texts of understanding magic items, potions, and things, you might be able to find it within this trove.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
I have this, and I'll hold up my rope of climbing that I have that has been so helpful these last 2 sessions.
How long is it?
How long is it?
That's a great question.
I think it's only like 60 feet.
Let me see.
While you're looking that up,
60 feet,
Adira.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Adira, do you have any ideas?
Yeah, so Adira is kind of like, I'm kind of like thinking back to the various texts that I've seen in temples.
Mm-hmm.
I've read before about brooms and carpets that give one the ability to fly. I'm not sure if, and I'm going to kind of look around to see anywhere where those kind of things might be stashed.
If they were in, you would merely have to think about the item and reach into the hole from which you pulled the sword and the whip.
Amazing. Okay. I am going to... reach in, and I'm thinking of either a broom of flying or a carpet of flying.
Okay. Why don't
I go to...
this is fun. Why don't you give me a house roll? So we give some love to our D12s. because
Ooh.
it is the like unloved adopted child of the dice sets that never gets used. So
Yeah, I
roll a
don't think
d12.
I've ever had to roll a d12, so I'm excited. An 11.
An 11. As you reach in, you find your hand gracing across a very thick fabric with some embroidery you can feel on it. As you grab hold of it, you pull out, and this just almost a gravity-defying carpet.
Amazing. I'm gonna shake it out, and I'm going to inspect it a little bit, and then lay it flat, and then hover.
How
Let's
did you do
see.
that? You just reached in and knew it was there?
Yes, yeah. It's a rather brilliant bit of magic, actually. Is there something that you are looking for? You want?
As you pull it out, you can see like unfurling it. It's about 6 by 9 feet, and it has this iconography of 3 moons, 1 blue, 1 red, and 1 black. You can see that it has a depiction of the Crimson Lady over it, and also what looks to be a number of bat wings kind of just etched around 3/4 of the border.
Nice. Amazing. Lucian, was there something you wanted to see was in there?
Anything? Just, I think of something, reach in and grab it.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure if, anything, but it is a rather ingenious bit of magic. They use these pieces of magic to, hide very valuable artifacts. And particularly within the Cloud Order, some of these places just sort of fell to the wayside.
Well, it's been rather cloudy, but as a vampire, the sun gonna be an issue now.
Oh, absolutely. Why do you think I wear this cloak?
I could probably use a cloak then.
I'm gonna, reach in and try to grab a cloak.
Okay, roll a d12.
9.
9. You pull one out, and it's this kind of like garish orange with like gold and black.
Suck. You suck. Why would you do this?
It's got like
beautiful.
It's got like feathers kind of like tasseling off
No,
of
you're
the
making
neck.
it worse. Stop.
It matches your eyes. Oh, that's lovely. Here you go.
Fine.
The orange really brings out the amber of your brown eyes.
I'm gonna wish really hard that this is black.
You take a hold of it, and you notice the inside is black.
Cool, I'm wearing it inside out. I don't care.
It's kind of awkward. You can see the seams poking out, like the drawstrings in the wrong place, but it works.
Cloak has a drawstring? Cool.
Right,
Is this just a cloak, or did I get a fancy cloak?
It's just a cloak. That was all that was.
Yeah,
That's
screw
fine.
this. I'm burning this as soon as this has no right
I mean,
to...
if you asked me for something more specific, I might have been able to do that. But as it is, I'm not just going to, take all willy-nilly.
Esmeralda does go in, and you hear like just a few clinks of glass as she like pulls out like 5 different bottles, and just like
Oh yes, wine.
shoves them in her pack.
Wine, you said?
Wine is always a necessity, and I'm almost out. I only have 14 bottles left.
You reach in for wine?
Sure, actually, I don't. I think I have 1 bottle of brandy, and I do have actually 13 bottles of wine. Actually, so we're actually probably good. But spirits is all good. We'll go for a spirits. or something.
Okay, roll a d12.
D12.
Roll a house roll.
Give me 9. It's a 9. Gives me a decanter of like glue.
You're going for spirits, right? That's what you said. Okay.
I said
You
This is gonna be so bad.
if I pull out ghosts and you're just a total jerk right now.
like as you're thinking, and you rolled a 9, you almost feel the touch of something like with a presence to it, and your hand graces across something else and grabs that instead, and you pull out what looks to be like a bottle of, after a quick sniff, your guess is probably vodka.
Cool.
Right. Well, is there anything else we need? Because if not, I'm going to close this so nothing else can, get out.
Anything else I need? Hold on, let me think. I'm fine. No, I'm good.
Perfect.
As goes, oh wait, one more thing, and reaches in. As reaches in, she stops moving for a bit. And she looks
alright?
back towards you. I can't move.
You can't move.
I can't pull my arm out.
Grab her neck. Like cuff of her neck, not like her
Okay.
neck. But yeah.
Just-
You kind of pull her. Go ahead
Yeah,
and make
I just
an
grab it
athletics
because I
check.
feel just in case something like suddenly starts pulling her. I
Make
just
an
grab the
athletics
scruff of
check.
her neck.
Okay,
Like-
you're not
Yeah.
pulling her
Yeah.
out.
No, like yeah, I'm just like
I'm-
cover her neck just in case something's immediately gonna start like pulling her or something. I don't want to,
Okay.
I'm
so.
gonna get in front of her and sort of
That's
try to
one.
push my body against
Okay.
hers
Give me an athletics check.
to try and.
Yeah, so that's a natural 1
Oh shit.
with a total of a 7. So
That's an 11. That's a 12 because I keep forgetting about my fullness. So. Oh, hang on. No, that's a save. Never mind. That is an 11.
I reach out and drop my bottle of vodka I just got, and now.
As you guys are pushing and pulling and trying to get Ez out, she pulls back and her arm comes through, but with it is this whole thick tentacle of blackness that just comes writhing out of it, and then this shadow just begins to pulse from this opening and just begins to fill the space around you. And instant danger. This is a skill challenge. You guys need to get out of here. What are you doing?
Is it still wrapped around her arm?
It's kind of letting loose. So she's in the bit of getting it free.
Okay.
So-
Adira is going to. Oh, you go ahead.
Options are go up the cliff or through the water and out the way you came, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. I'll throw Adira the rope and just take them up on the carpet, and I'll grab Ez
Mm-hmm.
and we'll jump into the water.
Okay, cool. You grab her. I need an athletics check to fight her away from the tentacle once more.
Cool.
Adira, what are you doing?
I'm going to. Because I'm still right next to her, so I'm gonna shove her towards Lucian, and then I'm going to go up on the carpet.
Okay. As you're kind of putting everyone on the carpet, you realize that as you, Adira, step onto it, it just kind of sinks slowly into the black mist, which has slowly started filling up the very, very bottom of this floor. The stakes are now almost kind of covered with this deathly black mist. Lucian, you dive in with Ez into the water. Adira, what are you doing?
Adira is going to kind of take her foot off, and I'm gonna look around, and I'm going to look at the carpet and just fly. And once I see that it's going up, I am going to start scaling the wall.
Okay, awesome. With you beginning to scale the wall, I need an athletics check. Are you using anything to help you?
I'm using my Nightcrawler
Oh, okay, so you're
ability,
just
so
like
I have a
walking.
climbing speed equal to my walking speed.
Oh shit.
I'm just like I'm just
I
climbing up
forgot.
the wall.
I was about to say, yeah, you're the you have like all the mobility blood boons, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
So yeah, you just
Listen,
like
I
walk
have
2 legs
no
straight
AC.
up. Yep. I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
I'm just going.
Nice. So yeah, you
And
just
that way my mouth is still.
I think you and your
Oh, you go ahead.
yeah. You guys begin to climb your way up, and I think from here on it's pretty obvious. You do sense this feeling of dread as you climb up. The smoke or the pools of the blackness just coming up and out. As soon as you guys get above the surface, you're watching it just kind of bubble and flow over the land. You begin to see little bits of what was little living on this island begin to dry out and just crisp over. You guys fly towards the north side. Lucian will shortchange all the fear mechanics that you guys go through. You do find that Ez pulls you out of another fear situation, and you guys make your way into the cave. You guys make your way out, and for the sake of time, you guys eventually all do meet back at the ship. As you get there, you can see that there is this big reptilian beast kind of being thrown overboard. Like as it's just kind of twitching in the air.
What did we miss?
What's going on? I'll go over and see this. The reptilian beast having a seizure, I guess.
Yep.
Oh, you're back.
What's happening here? What? Why is he?
You've multiplied.
Yes.
Yeah, not my fault. Her fault. She has payment. It's fine. You work something out. I'm gonna deal with this. I'm gonna walk to the.
Thanks for bringing target
Dorian.
practice.
Yeah, I'm walking to Dorian. You can talk to the captain about what you.
The beast, Dorian has already been thrown over the edge. So, like, you're going over to the edge and you can see, like, the beast kind of struggling, like, but, like, pretty much just straight up sinking.
Okay,
Why didn't you do that in the first place? I say to Vic.
We didn't know if the creature was valuable to you. We thought that saving it and keeping it around was useful.
No, well, it outlived its use.
Alright?
I'm going about the ship. Well, no. Actually, first I'm going up to Tower. Yes, so these people are more than happy to work. They're also going to serve as our blood supply for the trip, so no danger to anyone. And if you're willing to take them on, I also have a fairly priceless sword with your name on it.
I summon my sword.
Mm-hmm.
I've already got one.
As you summon the sword, now this is, if I recall correctly, this is just a packed weapon, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So, you can hear this feminine voice, speak out to you. You could have the best of both worlds.
Did that come from my sword, or the other sword, or the ether?
It's coming from just kind of almost like an atmospheric area around you at this point. I would say if you want to, you can try to pinpoint its origin, but...
Sure, I want to know if that sword is talking to me.
Okay, give me an Arcana check, probably, is the best way to go.
Arcana? Okay. 6.
Hard to tell.
I'm going to very helpfully contribute and just. It's already got a name. It's named Compassion. If you've ever heard of it, it's a bit ironic actually. Hasn't been particularly.
I have heard of Compassion, contrary to popular belief.
I'm gonna kind of look at the crew and just sort of like raise an eye.
They all kind of like look at each other.
Of course you have. Absolutely. A pirate
Is it
can
a
never
pretty
have
sword?
beautiful.
It's
That was Lyndon.
it was particularly it is particularly well crafted. It looks extremely sharp, like almost the edges are almost paper thin kind of sharp, which is, you would think, flimsy, but also kind of cool and deadly. It's got a number of runes in blood red and shadow, like kind of across it, and it's got this spider-like handle.
I'll take it real quick.
Okay.
Snitch, come here.
You just watch. He looks at, like, he's just so fucking scared. He's like, ah, shit. It's my turn. Finally, after these many years of loyalty, he just kind of like walks over and goes, you know, I'm really sorry about anything that I've ever said. About you.
Getting charmed like 6 times in the last 12 hours.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's nice.
I'm so easily charmed.
I just need to check if this sword is really sharp. Check it. Check how sharp this sword is for me.
I want you to roll a persuasion check. Or an intimidation, maybe?
Give me intimidation.
You can have intimidation. I'll let you have it.
22.
22. In this moment, you know exactly what his thought process is. And it is, I either make this like a fucking moment, or I'm gonna get tenfold worse afterwards. And he just kind of goes over, and he just takes his forearm and just writes across the blade and and he takes, hold on, I need to check his hit points.
They just walked up by.
Yeah, he accidentally cut off his arm.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, did Adira just witness this man just slice off his
He's like, it's just a sword. My arm's gone.
Tis but a scratch.
I really hope not.
He, like, so just in this moment, because it is a willing attack, it's technically, it's a lot worse than it would be normally, but he stretches across it and just, like, instantly, like, screams in pain. You see, like, blood pouring down, and there's almost, like, almost a bit of, kind of this dull magenta magic festering in the wound.
I grab his wrist and I lick it. Go see Rosie.
All right. Sure thing, Captain.
Okay.
Rosie kind of goes over. I'll get the brand ready. Just kind of like grabs his good arm and walks him downstairs.
All right, they can stay.
Cool.
What?
I kind of like lean my hip against the banister and just kind of wait for Tower to respond.
These Shatterkai elves are terrified. Like, you can see like the younger ones, they're probably like 14, 15, and they're just like wide-eyed and like have taken a step back involuntarily.
They could stay.
Thank you very much. And Adira's gonna like turn on her heel and sort of like nod to them, and then she's gonna go around the ship and burn the sigils into the boards that are required to make the ship fly.
Yeah, absolutely. You begin to trace the sigils into the ship from the main mast, which is now a little bit splintered, but no problems. Taking time to do so. Vic and the other workers kind of begin to work on the rest of the ship. Lucian, did you want to do anything with Dorian?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you doing?
First, I'm gonna use cantrip Mind Sliver to try to maybe snap him out, do a little bit of mental damage to snap him out of whatever's happening because I don't really understand it.
Okay, you know what? I don't want him to make a saving throw. I want you to make an Arcana check to see if you're able to manipulate this spell to do what you want it to do.
Arcana 5.
You shoot out the energy and you like hear Kira from the creature in response, but it doesn't do it doesn't have the intent you made.
Come on, Lucian. No, not Lucian. Gosh, come on, Dorian. If that's who you are.
As soon as you say Dorian, the Shatterkai all look over a little bit like, what?
Come on! And I'll slap it a little bit. Wake up!
He's in the water.
Yep.
Like, sinking.
He's fine.
Are you jumping in the water after him and then slapping him? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. Come on, wake up! Alright, I'll jump in the water.
Okay.
I'll swim down to him. I'll slap him a bit. I can't really figure out what's affecting him. Also, I guess I don't need to breathe anymore, so that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
Water has no value.
Slap. No effect, unfortunately. It continues to kind of sink and pulling you down almost with him.
Alright, so something's affecting him. I don't get what's going on. But I do see, like, the black veins and stuff.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Alright. I have this new cool discovered power I just got 20 minutes ago that lets me, you know, read things through blood. So I'm gonna bite him.
Okay.
And try to read his thoughts. Please don't kill Dorian. I 14 to hit, 10 damage. Magical damage.
14 to hit 10.
10 magical damage.
You bite into the dragon's skin, sucking out memories, horrible visions of just like being branded with this symbol of kind of like a pronged D on the side of the kind of the rib cage, which you haven't particularly noticed before. You can see like from his point of view being in a strapped to a table and a syringe being pressed into him and like parts of the body mutating, but only like one part of the body at a time. These memories flash through. You see just like the forearm itself, not like the wrist or the elbow. You see at one point part of like the back begin to press and erupt in a number of scales. Do you do so again? You're muted or something?
Like, bite him again?
Yeah, are you biting him again?
So that didn't wake him up?
No, it didn't.
Alright, let's bite him again.
Okay.
12 damage.
Alright. Need to check something here.
I know, it's like the medical practice of leeching. That's what's going on. I'm sucking out the bad blood for the good blood. That's what it is.
Okay. You deal another substantial amount of damage, and you can see that it's beginning to have an effect, and you are sucking some degree of black. You find yourself almost like coughing underwater, despite not needing to breathe, like just this black ooze almost coming out of your veins. You are not healing at this point since you're using your fangs in this way. His body grows quieter, but it is still seizing, and he does not have control.
Did I get any new images?
You see different parts of the body. You're able to feel the most excruciating pain as you can feel the face shift and like growth plates just building on top of each other, and scales erupting from the flesh underneath, and just this absolutely gruesome pain. You see a clear image of kind of a silver-haired, professional individual dressed in what look like an icy blue set of robes. They've got spectacles and look to be maybe half elven, but human equivalent of like 40, 45 years old.
Okay. Alright, well, we saw it's having some sort of effect. Let's do one more bite, I think.
Okay.
For 11.
Okay. You can feel as though you've almost got all of the blackness out. The images flash, and you hear people referring to this individual mentioned before as Dr. Drake. You also are able to witness a little bit of him stealing a few draconic relics from this sort of lab-like table, including a tooth and a scale of a white dragon, and him kind of like just bolting out of the room. In that, finding the freedom, breaking through the straps of the table, and just rushing into the alleyways.
Do you wake up yet?
No.
Ugh.
Still got health, but
He still has health.
still alive and seizing underwater, and you can tell he's running out of air. Like, this is probably has like one more round of air. What do you
Quick
do?
medicine check. 9.
Um,
Am I gonna kill him if I bite him again?
you might.
I
It
don't.
is a reality. You're also a vampire.
I've
though.
just confirmed for sure that this is actually Dorian. So, like, you know. I guess I'm gonna try to pull him out of the water first.
Give me an athletics check.
Come on, baby. That's a 9.
Stuck. Not dragging down or going up, just stuck there for a while.
Alright. Well, he had one more round of air before he starts drowning, so we'll do it again. Throw him out of the water.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
21.
21. Slowly you begin to push him up against the water, his weight really dragging him down, and you finally get him to the surface. What do you do?
Is he out of the water? And I've thrown him on the beach?
You guys are in the middle of the ocean. There is no shore.
Oh yeah, right.
There might be, I would say you maybe could try to throw him into the rowboat, but he is still thrashing about. Albeit not as severely.
Alright. I'll say, Dorian! Wake the hell up! I'm gonna intimidate him out of a medical condition. Yes.
You are epileptic. Like,
I know. Yes, everyone, Michael, I am an epileptic. I am. And I'm trying to intimidate an epileptic person out of having a seizure. So,
So what you're saying?
honestly, no one has tried it on me. I'm just saying. So,
that you
when
know
I have
of.
a seizure, no one has said, Michael, stop it. So, just saying, we're trying new things.
Oh God.
Michael, don't do that anymore.
Knock it off!
Get it together.
Oh God.
And for our audience, you've learned something about me. I am an epileptic. And let's spit some facts. Actually, 1 in 7 people will have a seizure in their life. If more than one seizure, if you have 2 or more seizures
Oh my
in your
God.
lifetime, you are considered epileptic, regardless whether you like it or not. I'm sorry, that's what happens. But that's how it is. Epilepsy awareness is very important. So yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
do not recommend just yelling at somebody.
That
I mean,
went through like a whole transformation.
yeah.
Call a
Anyway,
medical professional.
did my yelling at the epileptic dragon help?
Did you roll an intimidation check?
I did. I rolled an 18.
You know what? This is not at all accurate, but you've tried so hard. And we'll say in this
Well-
moment.
Actually, auditory cues can be very helpful. Someone who is having a continue to talk to them and speak to them. It may help them remain slightly cognitive. So there is some validity to what's going on, except that we are in water.
Yes.
So, yeah.
You find that the body like quiets to a gentle, and there is some a gentle seas, and there's some amount of control that he maintains.
Is he awake now?
Kind of looks to you, but yes, there is a wakefulness, if a dazedness, about him.
Right. Yeah. So you're probably tired right now. But now I do understand that you are my older brother, and I did doubt it before. So, let's get you back on the ship, and you're gonna take a nap. Captain, I believe the agreement was me and all of my companions were to be escorted to where we desired. This was inclusive to this particular creature right now. And I have confirmed that it is not just a creature, it is in fact a person. I had my doubts, but since I've died, I've changed my mind about a lot of things.
Is anyone else hearing a voice?
Don't start that! I know who you are, even if no one else on the ship does.
I'm gonna lean over and look down at him. And who is that?
I don't know. I don't know, Sephi. Why don't you tell me?
I need a wisdom saving throw from you, Tower.
I'm good at wisdom saving throws. I say and roll a 7 because I'm a natural 2.
Natural 2?
You don't say that!
The final number was 7.
One of your memories pops through, and you remember an individual exiting the room. You, for whatever reason, there's this sweet scent in the air, and you know that somehow there's some sort of aromatic bath on the other side of a door, and you see a significantly younger form of Lucian walking through it and looking to you, and you just kind of knowing this is the one that you've been told about. This is the one that was adopted far later and from your adopted uncle. This is the one from the city over, essentially. And you give him the advice to be careful and make friends with the rest of the siblings. Things are not always what they seem.
I like that that's the memory that was chosen.
I don't usually let epileptic dragons on board. Safety hazard. OSHA, you know.
Can't say I'm familiar with OSHA.
It's what I call the ocean.
OSHA. The ocean. Right.
Epileptic dragons could put us at the bottom of the ocean. Hence OSHA. You already broke my
Sure.
fucking mast.
I don't think that was me.
No. Your friend.
Oh. Right.
Can't go anywhere if he keeps breaking shit.
Well, I think he might have a few of both of us.
Is there any way to keep him under control?
Sure, we can think of something. I think there's a music box around here.
Yeah, I hold up the music box to show Dorian, the lizard person, the pit dragon.
Mm-hmm. In his dazedness, he kind of looks up, and the eyes do ever so slightly widen at the image of it.
You'll not be causing trouble on my ship again. Come on up.
You guys, how do you get this creature aboard?
Also, the thing is staying in the brig, tied up.
How much does it weigh?
I believe it's like
Fucking
a
lot.
couple hundred, if I remember right.
Nice. Rope of climbing can do 3,000 pounds, so we're
Oh,
good.
okay.
Oh, all right. I'm wow. Okay, this is a picture. Slightly.
I'm loving this rope of climbing.
I know, it's so awesome.
Slight conscious lizard dragon thing, like just like slowly up. Like
it takes a full minute to get up onto the ship, but it's going up.
Like creature kind of deposits on the top of the deck. The crew rushes to kind of tie him up and throws him to the brig. The family is just like really fucking confused at this point. Adira, as you catch a glimpse of him, I'm not gonna give you a roll here, but I am gonna say you are able to detect some of the traces of the shatter energy off of the creature, and it might be something that you could spend some time investigating in the future to further ascertain what exactly happened and how maybe to prevent it in the future, or what else might be going on with this thing.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, Adir, I'm just sort of like very absorbed in my current task trying to get this ship flying, but I'm
Right.
like, oh, that's clocked. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. For sure. As kind of goes around to the crew. Do you need any help? Looks to you, Tower. Hope you're frozen.
I don't know. Do whatever you want.
All right. She begins to go around and kind of talks to Vic, and Vic kind of directs her to some help that she can do.
Lilith, direct the engine installation. Adira can help.
Right.
I'll be in my cabin.
Understood, Captain.
I know fuck all about this stuff.
Lilith,
I'm gonna
sorry, go ahead.
go away.
Okay. As you kind of do that, Snitch waits a little bit. You get to your cabin, and Snitch kind of comes up and knocks on the door after Rosie has tended to him.
Yeah, come in.
Door shuts behind him. You all right?
Fine. Boy's fine.
Make a deception check.
Oh, natural 1 for a 9.
He looks at you.
Damn it, Mike! Stop taking all the natural 20s.
They're all mine.
Snitch kind of looks at you and kind of brushes his hair out of the his fringe out of the way. You know, normally I would let you go through this alone, but that was a shit show. And
Yeah, everything's been a fucking shit show past 9 years. What's different?
I don't think I've ever seen you make that face.
I make a lot of faces.
What,
Don't catch them all.
whatever the new
I'm
guy.
very complex.
He said he called you Sephi. What the fuck?
I don't know, he's from somewhere else. Probably some fucking slur. For snake people.
Right. I guess that's it then. Do you need anything?
No. Good on you testing the blade, though.
He looks down and you can see like a wound that's cauterized on a far wider scale than it ever needed to be. It's just a massive burn across his whole forearm.
Yeah, shame we lost our good surgeon. I just deal with Rosie.
His whole face darkens for a moment as you mention the old surgeon, and he like is like prepared for any sort of reaction you might have in the moment for a brief moment.
Guess I probably owe you for that one.
For what?
No, for taking that sword to your arm.
I know better than to
Also, you
Take
were
a
almost killed
freebie.
by vampires like 5 fucking times.
yeah, I think we're even. Don't worry about it.
Alright. That's what you think.
I'll go help with the crew. Need any particular commands, orders you want me to distribute?
No, apparently we're going to be an airship. As soon as that engine's installed.
Crazy.
So, I know fuck all about air. I don't
Yeah.
know what you fucking call it when the ship's in the air. Navigating, steering.
Maybe. Not that we
I don't
have
fuck
any
all
of those
about it.
on us. Hopefully we can use the land. That'll be different, seeing it from above. We'll need a map. Better one than we have, at least.
I'm sure Vic will figure it out.
Fair enough. Goes over to the door, opens it. Sleep well, Captain.
Yeah. Sure thing.
Door shuts. Adira, you finish establishing the runes across the board. The crew gets back to fixing things. The engine begins to be shifted. Everyone is going to take basically a temporary level of exhaustion other than Tower, just from working. It has stretched late into the night as you're finishing up all these repairs and getting the engine set up. Lucian, do you assist with that process at all?
No.
Okay, so you don't take the exhaustion. Adira, sorry.
Yeah,
You're the only
that's
one.
cool.
Sad.
That's it.
But you get it up and running.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of hover near the engine itself as we're getting it started, making sure that the runes are lighting up properly, making sure that everything is going according to plan before we actually take off.
All right. Everything, as far as you can tell, is in place. All you really need are the bones. That's kind of the last piece of this whole thing before you can start.
Yeah, where are we gonna get bones? Oh wait, yeah, didn't Cookie have bones? I think
Yeah.
Captain mentioned something about Cookie having bones.
I'm gonna turn to whoever's next to me. I'm just gonna say, the captain mentioned that there might be bones aboard for us to use.
Lilith kind of turns to you. Oh, yeah, those are gonna be maybe with Cookie. He does all of our cooking, so probably him.
Right. Where would I find him?
Lower deck. Just below.
Great.
To the right.
Great. I'm gonna make my way down there, and once I get there, I'm just gonna kind of knock on the door and just, is there a Cookie here?
You hear this like just kind of this broad singing beyond the door. As soon as you knock, just this instant, silent steps walk over to the door, kind of looks at you, and this is an interesting view for you as you see a bald, kind of grayish skinned dwarf just staring at you with like beady black eyes, just kind of like giving you a bitch face for the days.
Are you Cookie? I need bones.
He just kind of rolls his eyes and walks away from you and grabs a sack on the side that's kind of dripping with a little bit of blood and kind of like a little bit of mold at the very bottom of the sack. Pulls it over. You can hear the bones kind of rattling against each other, dragging across the wooden planks, creaking and everything. Just kind of sets it outside the door. Good.
Yes, thank you.
Great.
You have a lovely singing voice.
Door shut in front of your face.
I kind of just like, it's a very welcoming group here, right? And I'm gonna take the sack and lug it back up.
Okay. You pull it up the stairs, taking it on, eventually dragging it to the place where the bowl kind of sits for the engine.
I'll turn and just give one final check that everything is good to go, and then I'll upend the sack into the bowl.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of the bones crackling and crushing against each other, and as soon as they hit the center bit, you just see like they begin to burn away, just really, really slowly, like charcoal almost, and you hear this hum of the engine as it begins to effervesce, this almost reddish white energy that begins to spread across the ship. After a few moments, it lifts off the ground. It's burned maybe, I would say, 1/10 of the bone supply, and it's got about 10. You've gone about 15 minutes. The crew is looking at each other like open, like eyed, and just amazed at this circumstance.
All right. Um.
Oh, you there?
I just start like giggling, like. uh.
Uh-oh. Think you cut out a bit. Oh no! We haven't had this issue in a while.
And because she starts giggling, everyone else starts giggling, and the ship starts giggling. Turns out it's a mimic, and we all die!
Everyone dies!
Gosh
I
dang
mean,
it.
at that point, fair play. I would accept that fate.
It played the long con. 9 years as a mimic.
At that point,
Waiting
fair
till
play.
it can fly. And then it just
Now I'm a
eats
flying
things.
mimic.
Now it just
Doesn't
eats
need us
things,
anymore.
and it just gets rid of the bones, and it can keep flying.
Oh my
It's just-
gosh. It eats them, and it's just fuel. Because it
We
eats
just
it with
created the
bones.
perfect mimic.
Perfect
A
mimic.
flying ship mimic. Oh gods.
It could even be an anti-dragon mimic if you think about it. It just, just flies
That's
after
true.
the dragon, and then lands and just morphs into something else, like a giant pile of gold, and eats the dragon.
Do we want to take a short bathroom break or something? While
Yeah,
Nick
let's take a
figures it
short
out?
break. Yeah, we'll
Let's
be
do
back in a
that.
bit. Alright, see y'all in 10. Alright, and we're back. So,
Welcome back.
oh my gods. Every time.
I think he should do our welcome backs. and our-
Ooh, you can
Welcome
start
back.
us off.
Welcome to-
Okay, refocus. But yes, things to talk about.
Next
Adira.
time on House Rolls.
Previously on House Roll.
See?
Much
Okay,
better than me.
I
Fair
kind of
enough.
need it.
All right, so Adira, you are getting the ship off. We last left you giggling.
Yes, so Adira is exhausted. I am very tired. I never actually dreamt that this would actually work. So pretty delirious at the moment, just
Mhm.
giggling, completely overjoyed. I probably look a little bit just wide-eyed, kind of crazy at the moment. Hair's a mess.
Mhm.
I look to
Absolutely.
whatever crew member is next to me and I'm just like, it's working. we're actually flying. We're going to need a lot more bones. Oh, we're going to need a lot more bones.
Rosie is standing next to you, and her dark skin and ginger hair just like looks over and goes, "Well, you've surprised me. This is not in my understanding. But bones. Yeah, we can work on that. Need to go get a noble that the captain's pissed off, and we'll be fine."
It's pissed off.
Oh, it just they go the wrong way, or they just it's really easy to piss each other off, and we'll figure it out. Not hard to do.
In the meantime, let's celebrate. And I'll start pulling out my 13 bottles of wine that I have in my. Yes.
Just like lined up, and everybody just kind of looks over and they're like very grateful of it. Dorian kind of comes over and like sniffs one after taking a pretty substantial nap. The poor Shatterkai elves who can't understand a word y'all are saying.
They
Right,
don't know
yeah.
Yeah, they'd probably be saying, "I'm in danger."
Now that we're actually up and flying, I'm gonna make my way over to them and just like very quietly explain that like obviously they've been accepted onto the ship. I mean, we're flying. You already know that. And just try to stay out of the captain's way as much as you can. Be helpful. I'm gonna look around. Is Snitch around?
Snitch, yeah, Snitch just kind of come up. He's kind of staring off the deck a little bit, off in the distance, a little bit lonesome-y.
Okay. I'm gonna make my way over to him. Just Mr. Snitch, was it?
Yeah, Gunner Snitch.
Gunner. I'm Adira. These people here, they've come aboard and they're, offering their services. Who should I direct them to get instructions on what to do day to day? Would that be you?
Probably. What languages do they speak? Because they don't seem to be understanding us now.
No, they speak the language they speak the language of the Shadowfell. So I can translate. I'm more than happy to do so.
That place is real.
Yes, very real, very much so.
Shit.
Why?
Oh, that just means there's a lot of open possibility for things to be real that I really don't want to be real.
Oh, there are a lot of things that are very much so real that nobody really wants to. But I'm not going to tell you about all the things in the Shadowfell.
I was about to say, if I recall, it's a place for dead.
I mean, yes, to an extent, absolutely. There are certain aspects of it that are absolutely dead and dreadful. I mean, the thing that chases off the island. Did you see that? But there are absolutely fascinating attributes to the Shadowfell as well. The magical capabilities that have come out of the Shadowfell alone, and I have completely lost you. Sorry.
No, I'm actually kind of following. Out of morbid curiosity, can you raise someone from the dead using the Shadowfell?
Theoretically, possible. What might return though? I can't do it. It's not within my capabilities at the moment. The best that I'm able to do is, sort of stop the decaying process.
He kind of like beckons you to come closer. And in a lower voice just says, if you decide to tell the captain about raising people through the Shadowfell, just be ready to answer lots of questions. Oh, did you cut out again?
Am I back?
Oh, your voice, yep, you're there.
I did. My Discord is being an absolute...
Did you hear me?
Okay, perfect.
Did you get
didn't.
Okay. He beckons you forward.
I'm gonna kind of lean forward a little bit.
And in a lower voice, he just says, if you decide to tell the captain about raising people from the Shadowfell, just be ready to have a long conversation. he's gonna have a lot of questions.
Right. Okay. If I do, I'll make sure that I have answers.
Trying to give you a heads up.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Does the captain have any kind of dealing with the Shadowfell then?
No, just, you know, we all have people we've lost. And I'll leave it there.
Right. I understand. Thank you for telling me.
You're lucky You're lucky I trust you, to some degree. I don't know why. But this is not information I give everyone.
I'm gonna kind of lean my arms against the post or the banister of the ship. I'm just like, I suppose I just have one of those faces then, don't I? Very trustworthy.
Yeah, I guess. With the
Thank you.
fangs, very trustworthy. Very trustworthy with the fangs. When you grin, really shows them off.
I know. It's equal parts trustworthy, and if I want to, I can really make it look a little bit maniacal. I've really worked on that bit.
Kind of leans in close. If you misuse this information... He kind of glances over at Ez. Think you get my drift.
I kind of look between him and Ez, and then back to him. What is it about Ez that I would sort of
he's
pick
gonna
up
kill
on?
her. He's gonna kill her. Like,
Okay.
like if you are not trustworthy, he is gonna kill her. Like,
okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool. I'm gonna smile and I'm gonna say, luckily it's not something that we'll have to actually deal with. And then I'm gonna lean in a little bit close and I'm gonna say, but I wouldn't advise going after her. She might look small and weak, but it's all a bit of a ruse, you see. Lure the prey in, get them off balance. It's her expertise.
Duly noted.
I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna go over to Ez.
Okay. You head over to Ez. She's assumed her more mature state and has like grabbed one of the bottles of wine and kind of like drinks it and is like, doesn't affect me like it used to, but it's something.
I mean, I only really remember you getting drunk once. And it was hilarious.
I don't even remember it.
We all were out by the woods, past the farm.
Oh, right. Was I cuddly? Was I cuddly drunk?
Yes. Oh, very, very, very cuddly drunk. And we're out past the farms, and there was a group of us, and I remember you were canoodling with. Oh God, who was it?
Did I bite him?
Did you bite them?
Yes.
No, dear. No, dear. This was long before. This was long before.
Oh.
Yeah. This was before.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be real honest. I probably still bit him a little bit.
I mean, probably. I distinctly remember waking up the next morning and you had several brambles in your hair and would not tell me how they got there.
Oh, sounds like a good night.
Sounds like you had a good time. Maybe go a little bit slow on the drinks for tonight. We don't really know these people very well.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And she kind of like holds up the bottle to you.
I'll take it and take a swig, and then I'll lean in and go, although apparently you're related to Lucian now. You're going to have to tell me about that.
Some other time. I'm sure we'll have some kind of family meeting. As technically, I'm linked to all of you now.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I'm linked to him too.
What?
Tower may not remember it, but I remember a little bit from afar before I was adopted.
Tower?
Oh, same family. Von Bathory's? He's the oldest.
Are you on deck saying this?
What?
Oh yeah, I think she's on deck, yeah.
Yeah, we're on deck.
Yeah. Went by a
What?
different name then. Sephythan.
So they're all related.
No!
But
I
So
mean,
who were they
it's
adopted
really not
by?
hard to find records. The Baron paraded his children around. Go to any public library.
they're adopted by the Baron. Why did you get a public library? I've spent far too much
Why?
time in. I've spent far too much
I was
time.
about to say,
They were
I mean,
adopted.
remember I lived with the Baron. I lived in Ugnut for some time.
I did forget about that.
I had access to records.
But
Whatever the case is, it doesn't appear he remembers much of his past, or at least chooses not to act on it, which is to our advantage, probably.
probably. Do you think you're going to raise it with them? Remind them in any capacity?
I didn't have any direct interactions with Sephythan before he left. I did know some people who supposedly knew him after he left, very briefly. But
Do we have any valuable information then? Anything I should know?
not off the top of my head, but I'll do some thinking. Maybe check my journals.
I want to kick this kid in the teeth.
Thank you, sister.
Drop
appreciate
kick
it.
you
And-
off the side of the ship.
And I'm glad that you came.
I'm not.
Glad you knocked some sense into me.
You need more.
You might need to do that again. I'm
Please.
not so sure that Vilkis' hold over me is over. I imagine there are triggers set in place. May need help
Yeah.
navigating them.
I'd like to pull a few of those triggers.
I might be able to, if you'll allow it, while we're traveling, I might be able to delve into your mind a little bit, try to suss out some of those triggers, stop them before they really start.
I think the more people I have to ground me, the better that situation could be, so maybe it could be something we get the group together for too. Provided they're willing.
Yes, we're all willing to put you in the ground.
I mean, we might have to endear ourselves to them a little bit more, but
we do have a way of getting on people's good sides.
we are oddly good at that, aren't we? Apparently, I have a very trustworthy face.
Yes, I saw you chatting it over there. Is there anything going on there?
Oh God, no. No, actually, I was told in no uncertain terms that if my face proves to be untrustworthy, that you will be forfeit. Which I did give him a fair warning that, you're not exactly easy to hunt or kill or capture.
She gets this sly, thirsty grin, fangs like just really prominent, and she just grins over in Snitch's direction. Oh, I'd love to see him try.
I think it'd be very funny. I also think it'd be very funny if you really pursued that.
Could be an angle.
Could be an option.
Although, I think I've picked up on him having eyes for someone else. Not entirely
Oh,
sure, but...
Oh, really? Do tell. Someone on the crew. Is it Tower?
It feels
I saw him
feels
go-
too soon. It feels too soon to say for sure, but I'm definitely keeping an eye on it. Information is power. We both are very aware of this.
Yes, I know, but you're supposed to share it with me.
I will once I'm more sure. False information is even worse than no information.
Information is
Yes.
power. You're on top deck. Everybody.
You're worse than no information. She kind of takes another swing.
You can definitely tell, like, she's this is a conversation she probably normally would not have in this public venue, but she's had a few drinks, and so she's like, I'm so sly, I'm so smart, but also I'm drunk.
But also, I am drunk.
That's the vibe you get here. Lucian, what do you do before you kind of head to sleep?
Knock on the captain's door.
This better be good.
I'll open the door. Well,
It's not.
I hold up. This is brandy I've been saving for a while. Well, even if I'm not, this is. Shake, shake, shake.
Huh. For a minute there, I thought you actually knew me.
Sure. You can think that. Or you can not think that. And I'll walk in. And I'll pull 2 goblets out and I'll pour a glass. And I'll hand you one.
Is there a purpose to your visit?
Oh yes, it's because I know you.
Hmm.
And
I'll
it
point to the
seems
contrary.
that you're not aware of it. So.
Well, you would be Lucian von Bathory.
Hmm. And you go by Tower. How'd you get that name?
I do. Yeah. You know, Monk gave it to me.
A monk?
A monk. Yeah. Because I was tall.
Really? That's... Wow. Can't say it's not original.
No, he always said I towered over all of them. Tower.
The monks you said were at this place with this tower, this island we were just at.
Yeah.
Thought
I'm sure they're fine.
said something about a barrier keeping the vampires out. I'm sure they're fine.
Or they're dead. Either way.
Uh-huh. And you don't seem to care too much, do ya?
Well, I knew them for like 6 weeks. Can't say it was enough time to really form a bond.
And just ran after that.
6 weeks. 9 years ago. Left an impression, I'll give him that. Nothing more.
You've always been a bit clever, so there must have been a reason for you leaving. Saw something better?
No, my knee was shattered and they knew fuck all about medicine.
Found a healer somewhere, I assume.
Ugh. Not
you?
really.
Come on, there's
I mean-
priests everywhere. You could find someone decent.
Oh, I found priests. They're crawling everywhere. And I stamp them out wherever I can find them.
Well, actually, now that you mention it, I don't know very many priests. Well, you don't like priests, do you?
Can't say I'm a fan.
What's that?
Found a great surgeon, though.
And see, you're definitely not hobbling around now. What happened to your knee, anyway?
Don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know. Woke up in a monastery with a shattered knee 9 years ago.
And you don't remember who you are?
I'm not a fucking idiot. Put enough clues together to go take a look.
And?
I know who I'm supposed to be. Don't remember it. Much.
Maybe that's for the best.
I've found that.
But everyone who was a Von Bathory had a previous life that they were adopted from that had some sort of privilege. Do you ever think about before the before?
I prefer not to think of anything prior to 9 years ago.
And so you chose to become a ship captain and make a name for yourself. Is that it?
That sounds much more straightforward than it was.
You telling me you just kind of stumbled upon this?
Neither. It wasn't straightforward, but it was a purposeful decision eventually.
Well, have you know, person who you were was a very influential individual in my life for the few years that you were able to hang around. Only one that I knew to actually escape scot-free. Always found you a bit clever.
Scot-free is a bit generous.
Well, as far as I could tell. Only one who Baron wouldn't say anything about, almost as if he was embarrassed he let you get away.
One never really gets away from him. So I prefer to move on.
Not fully, it seems. Looks like you still have a craving for certain meats.
That was him.
Yep. I sure was. How'd your crew get into it?
I got into it.
They just followed along?
There's some of them, not all of them. Some of them don't, some of them do. It's up to them. I don't force it. But if they want to partake, it's up to them.
It's understandable. Now that I've started walking again, well, being alive in the last 6 hours or so, there are cravings that I've worked to push down that are very strong. I don't plan on making a scene.
You're not gonna find any stigma on here, mate. Do what you like. But none of the crew unless I say it's okay.
Fine.
I think we still have some of that, what's his face? The really annoying one. First night. I think we have some of him left over. How about it? Nice cookie.
I appreciate it. Well, the question, I guess, was...
Oh, one. Alright.
Huh?
Go for it.
Your deal you made with the Lady of the Veil. What was it? Exactly.
Well, she busted me out of prison.
And so...
Valanost. Yeah.
From Valanost?
Yeah.
When?
Couple years. 4 years ago? 5 years ago? 6?
It's just... Interesting. It's funny. And so you just owed her a favor, and for some reason she just wants you to take me wherever I want? Is that the deal?
Oh, no, she... Essentially, she wanted me to... Well... She wanted me to save your ass. If she got out alive. I think she wants to see the Baron dead. She definitely wanted to see Mavis Reed dead, and so did I. So... Couldn't give a fuck about the Baron. Fuck all. Stay in his corner of the world, and I'll stay in mine.
But you hate Mavis Reed.
Yeah, I do.
Why? Why her and not the Baron? She's the witch. Who, I mean, understandably why you would hate Mavis Reed, but her but not the Baron? It's a little odd to me.
Baron didn't kill my late husband, did he?
Oh.
Mavis Reed did. So, fuck her.
These
Hope she
last...
rots in whatever underworld there is.
Oh. How long ago was that?
About the time I got my ship. 3 years ago? 2. Don't I remember? 1. 1.5.
Well, you seem to be coping as best you can. So do you... I'm going to kill her. And the Baron.
She's not dead. I knew I carried off with her body, but she's probably good as dead.
No, she's not dead.
Nope.
Quite, I don't think. Her skin was peeling away. I'm feeling she's not quite dead.
That's not usually a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is it you want?
At this point, well, if Mavis Reed's not dead, kill Mavis Reed.
And then? Just be a captain and sail the seas till you're old and die.
Oh, I don't plan to get old. At this point, trying to find someone who can bring back my husband, but I've heard that's impossible.
Both of you feel, and actually, Adira feels this as well, but in this moment, you feel almost like a finger touching the tip of your cervical spine. And Tower, in an audible voice, you hear, I can help with that.
Am I fucking hearing things now? Did you hear that?
I don't think so. Yeah, drink some more, and I'll pour.
You really don't fucking know me. Can't get drunk. Doesn't do anything.
You don't like the taste?
No, can't fucking get drunk, and I'm... might as well just drink water.
Hmm. Well.
Something about
Okay.
being immune to poison. Doesn't work.
I'd say otherwise when it came to, dragon kiss berries. Seemed pretty drunk to me when you had those. Perhaps different effect though.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll have to have some at some point.
Why be drunk with berries when you can be drunk with love?
Get out. Get out.
All right. Well, you have a good night then. You need anything?
I said get out.
I'm walking.
I assume all of you find some degree of rest, whether it be sleep or sleep less. Find your rooms, your bunks, the massive common room, whatever it might be atop this ship. It isn't long, though, before you all kind of get in bed and the ship just kind of goes straight into the water. The crew gets to work on a few things. And Tower, as you wake up, in front of you, you see kind of a pale version of Nico standing in front of you.
You know, I don't fucking believe in ghosts. If I find out who's fucking doing that, I will kill you.
A weak smile crosses his face. He shakes his head in knowing before slowly fading away. Lucian, I need you to make, as you fall asleep, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Okay. $15.
Adira, I also need you to make a charisma saving throw as you fall asleep.
4. That tracks.
Duly noted. Tower, I need you to make a charisma saving throw with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. I hate you.
Darn ghosts.
11.
Okay.
Or a 26, but whatever. Disadvantage.
Okay, I'm gonna make some notes here.
We're in danger.
As you all find rest, you wake up in the morning to big... You can hear giant wings gracing the outside of your ship and feet lightly touching down. Who is your captain? You hear from above. Snitch comes down, knocks on Tower's door.
What?
Some individuals want you.
Quick point of clarification. Are we in the sky?
Nope.
Because I feel like you said we were in the water and then... Okay.
No, it is... Flying people did descend on your ship, but you are in the water.
We're on the ocean. We're not flying above the ocean.
Yes.
Okay.
We landed at some point, like... before.
Okay, I thought I heard you say we...
Yes. Yeah, you're in the
Splashed,
water.
but-
Yes.
Okay. Why didn't you just fucking kill them?
You might want to see for yourself.
I roll out of bed. Just an absolute nighttime disaster. Just tangled hair, greasy face, just like, oh my fucking god. I go outside.
Okay. Do you grab anyone from the bunk room with you?
It's not on the way from the cabin. Why?
Okay. Immediately as you walk outside, you see 7 winged elves, all with varying different colors of feathers and skin tones, adorned in various jewelry. They all are wearing plate mail armor and each have 2 long swords at the hip. One of them, deep, dark, tan skin, looks at you.
I'm holding my pants up because I didn't sleep in my belt, so I'm looking real dignified.
So you're the one that has brought this abomination to reality once more. We shall see to it that it ends. And immediately 2 of them conjure fire in their hands and begin to go to the edges of the ship. And I think that's where we'll end session.
How dare you have a boat?
This
We only like things that fly.
And me kind of knows what's going on.
Boats are evil.
Alright, anyways, we will see you guys next week.
We'll see you next time on House Rules. I can do a better one.
Yeah, that's
That was,
great.
that was
We'll do
great.
better
Yeah,
one next-
good job.
We'll do a better one next time.
Night, guys.
better than any of us could do.
Night.